In this lesson, we will explain the Wise SCADA Web Server feature. In the Web Server section, we add a new row by clicking New. Each row here represents a different web server configuration. We can add as many different web server configurations as we want. The default TCP port number is 80. Let's set it to 5000 so we can show how it is used. Let's quickly complete our configuration. You can see a red dot in the screen section. This indicates that no page has been selected yet. We select the pages from here. I had previously prepared Screen 0, Screen 1, and Screen 2 in SCADA. I select those prepared pages here. Now we can directly start the runtime. I enter my local IP address in the browser. I should have written HTTP at the beginning. I type 127.0.0.1, add a colon, and enter the port number as 5000. Our web server application has started. We are viewing the page in Chrome. Currently, we see only one page. We don't have a button to switch to other pages, because we made a mistake in the configuration. Let's fix this error now. Here, we need to select the navigation buttons. We can display the navigation buttons on the home page, at the top of each page, or both. Let's select both. If we also enable homepage at the top, it will automatically create the home page. I restart the runtime. And from here, I go to the home page. As you can see, we now have buttons on the home page. We can navigate to any page by clicking the desired button. We can monitor values live and also control them. For example, there is a script for this value. With that script, a continuously changing value is written. When we enter 10 and press enter, this value is sent to SCADA. However, the script quickly changes that value. We can click the checkbox. Let's move on to the next step. Now let's move on to the other definitions in the web server configuration. The important column here is the URL column. If you don't want operators to see names like Screen 0 or Screen 1, you can assign different names. These names will now appear in the URL. For example, you can change the page refresh rate. Especially when there are many screens and access is provided over the internet. You can keep CPU usage under control by setting a longer refresh rate. Now I start the runtime again. And I open my web page. I refresh the page. Now we no longer have a URL named Screen 0. Let's go back to the home page. As you can see, it is now temp. The other page's URL has become pressure. And you can monitor the update of this page from here. It updates once every second. Let's move to the other page. This page updates every 2 seconds. We had just set it to 2 seconds here. Now let's explain the top row. What do we have here? First, we have an enable column. If we had defined a condition in this column, the web server would start when that condition is met. For example, you may not want to use the web server during the daytime, but you may want to use it at night. You can use the enable feature for this purpose. The default TCP port number was 80. We had set it to 5000 to demonstrate how it is used in the URL. Now, when I set it back to 80 and restart the runtime, I no longer need to write the port number in the browser's URL field, because 80 is the default port number. We can access all pages directly using only the IP address. There is a folder option. If we have multiple server configurations, using a folder becomes more meaningful. For example, let's enter machine 1 here. Now all these pages will appear under the machine 1 folder in the URL. Let's show it immediately. Let's go back to our home page. As you can see above, machine 1 has been added here, and all pages now open under it. We explained the Use Homepage option. When we disable this option, the first screen in the list is displayed directly. With the Allow All IPs option, we allow everyone to connect to the web server. If we uncheck this, we need to define IP addresses. When we do this, this area becomes a list. We can define multiple IP addresses. Only these IPs will be allowed to access. Let's continue with all IPs. The Login Required option, when enabled, requires us to select the permitted users. These users are defined in the Setup section, or by selecting Allow All Users. We can allow all users defined here. Let's continue this way and restart the runtime. Let's return to the beginning again. Now it asks us to log in. Without logging in, we can no longer view the pages. Let's remove the login so it doesn't block us during testing. When the read-only option is enabled, only monitoring is allowed. Set values cannot be written through browser applications. When the Ask Confirmation option is enabled, a warning message appears before writing set values. Let's apply it right away. I can't click it because we configured this as read-only. We need to change that. Let's enable both read and write permissions again. Let's refresh our page. Now when we click this checkbox, we see a warning message at the top. It asks if we are sure. If we click yes, the checkbox is unchecked. In the area where we enter a set value, we can enter the set value directly. The Ask Confirmation option is more applicable to button-like objects. For textbox objects, a separate confirmation already appears, so it is not used there. There is one more thing I want to show. Let's connect via the web and I'll show it that way. As you can see here, the checkbox is dimmed and the text box above is also dimmed. Because when defining these in SCADA, we use the Enable feature. And we set it so that only users with user level 10 and above can click these. By clicking user and password here, we can enter the password. After entering it, we can activate this area by clicking the login button. Now we can click here. Wise SCADA is a desktop SCADA system. It is not a web-based SCADA. However, it allows you to access SCADA pages via the web. Many features such as object clicks and value changes work here. but you cannot control all objects exactly as in the desktop version. There is no user limitation. Many users can connect to and monitor the same screen. Each user can monitor different screens. There is no limitation on the number of screens. There can be hundreds of screens here. However, there is one limitation. If many users monitor many different pages, the computer's CPU will be heavily loaded. This may cause performance issues. Some pages may open slowly or may not open at all. We have reached the end of the Wise SCADA Web Server topic. Thank you for watching.